So dissertations can be structured in lots of different ways. There's no kind of one size fits all. The main thing to think about when deciding the appropriate structure, and this is definitely something that the supervisor will have a major role in supporting, is what is the structure that best advances the argument or point that the dissertation as a whole is trying to put across. Some dissertations will best be structured with a series of fairly short chapters. Some will have much meatier but fewer chapters. But the main thing is to think about what is the structure that really advances the argument that the dissertation is going to put across as a whole. And that's important because it's important to think of the dissertation not simply as covering a topic, but as making an intervention in a topic, as making an argument around a particular topic.
You need to set it up. So in terms of the literature review says, this is how this subject works and this is maybe what's missing at the moment. And then it's a natural step to go, that missing thing, I'm going to conduct research on it in your method. And then you conduct the research and you give me the results, and this is what I found out. And then the next natural step is to say, okay, discussion time. Here's what the literature said. Here's what my work showed. Let's put those together. What's going on? They might match, they might contradict. That's where it gets interesting, and that's where you've got stuff to say. It should feel sequential. It should feel like when you're reading a good book or when you're telling a story, you have to get things in a reasonable order.
I think it's always important to think of your reader when you're giving your structure, when you're planning your structure. Make sure that the structure makes sense for your reader and not necessarily for you. Make sure that at all times your reader understands why they're reading the section they are. Why did you include this material? Why are you covering this debate? Why are you citing from this particular source at length? That's what's called building a coherent argument, so that everything links to each other logically. And if you can't link something logically into the argument, sometimes you just have to let it go, even though it might be something that you really care about.